And our government specialist, Lindsay Strand, is here tonight to look at the growing influence of the wealthy, the rich, in politics. Lindsay?
Well, Stan, last night Dennis Moore talked about the influence of the PACs, or the political action committees. Well, Mark Dayton has refused all PAC money. He believes those contributions don't come without strings attached, and that's one of the best arguments for allowing rich candidates to spend their own fortunes. Then they can't be bought by any interest groups. But it's what the wealthy candidates are doing to the others who want to run that concerns a lot of people.
I don't think we necessarily want to have a situation in this country where being wealthy is a prerequisite to seeking elective office, but we're getting close to that point now.
It offends our sense of equality, our sense of equal opportunity, and those are very important concerns.
Millionaire John Hines of the Ketchup family started the big spending in 1976 when he poured $2.6 million into his race for the Pennsylvania Senate seat and won. This year, that record is being shattered by U.S. Senate candidate Mark Dayton, who today became the $6 million man. Dayton has pumped $6,038,000 into his campaign in loans and contributions. Only $218,000 has come from others. Dayton's spending dwarfs that of other U.S. Senate candidates, but the pattern is the same in other states like New Jersey. 2 of every $3 being spent by computer executive Frank Lautenberg are his own. Lautenberg's contribution to his campaign, $2.1 million. The free spending policy for individual candidates was set by the U.S. Supreme Court in a 1976 decision. Recognizing that money talks in a political campaign, the High Court ruled that spending limits violated an individual's First Amendment rights, guaranteeing freedom of speech. Individual supporters can contribute only $1,000 to congressional candidates in each election, but the candidates can give themselves whatever they can afford. Though Dayton leads the nation in personal spending, it's a practice that's making even him uncomfortable.
Talking about potential for tremendous imbalance.
Dayton doesn't think elections can be bought in Minnesota, but he does think wealthy candidates can sometimes force other qualified candidates out of the running. Senate Majority Leader Howard Baker says he's seen that happen this year.
The most immediate effect has been in the business of finding candidates, or in the willingness of candidates to run in the face of the free shot that very wealthy candidates have under the present setup.
Politicians are split on what, if anything, should be done to curb the spending of the rich. Dayton believes a voluntary taxpayer finance system should be set up, with limitations on how much candidates can spend. If a rich candidate rejects the public money and ignores the spending limitations, Dayton believes the spending limits for the opponent should be raised and public contributions increased. Ironically, opponent Dave Durenberger doesn't believe the law should be changed at all.
I got such an incredible trust in the people out there. I mean, the voters have to make the decision. As long as they know how much is being spent, where it's coming from, what it's being spent on, you know, they can make those judgments better than politicians saying there ought to be a law to do this or there ought to be a law to do that.
Efforts to change the law have gone nowhere in the Congress, but in Washington, advocates of public financing aren't giving up.
That provides an alternative source of funds. It allows you to cap overall spending. It allows you to limit the use of personal wealth. It also rewards the candidate who's able to go out and get a lot of small contributions.
Some of Minnesota's state legislators don't want to wait around for the federal government to act on a public finance system. Instead, they're making plans now to set up a statewide public finance system to help pay for the campaigns of the congressional candidates. And Stan will find out more about that tomorrow night. Also, Dennis Moore will have the results of an exclusive Eyewitness News poll for us to tell us what some Minnesotans think about the millions that's being poured into this election.
And Lindsay, the big money is just not all going for federal campaigns, is it?
Certainly not. We're seeing it in the state races here, too. For example, IR candidate for Governor Wheelock Whitney says he's prepared to spend up to $1.5 million on his campaign.
Okay, thank you.